Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Team Talk podcast. This is episode 2, and today we're going to be talking about our current team of the season so far for the Premier League. So everyone say hello.
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 So again, we're joined by Tom, Lawrence, Matt, and Nath.
Okay.
We're going to be talking. We have a few sort of talking points each that we're going to discuss before we get into the 11. And then after that, we're going to be doing our score predictions for the weekend, excluding probably the biggest game of the week, which is Chelsea-Liverpool, because these guys are nutters.
Do you mean Norwich-Brentford tonight, yeah?
Biggest game of the week? Chelsea-Liverpool.
So anyway,
Not Man City.
Is that a relegation battle, Josh?
So anyway, getting into it straight away, we're going to move on to our first talking point, which is coming from somebody.
You, Josh.
Do you actually want me to go first?
Yeah, you go.
All right. So my talking point is: who do you think the young player of the season in the Premier League is so far?
Out of 2 names, surely.
I would have to say personally Phil Foden from Man City.
Yeah, I'd say Phil Foden.
Yeah, it's out of Phil Foden and Bukayo Saka, 100%.
Yeah.
I would say
They're
Bukayo Saka.
incredible.
Why would you say Saka? Give me some talking points about him.
I'm perfectly honest. I can't give you a reason why I've picked Saka over Foden. I've just gone for Saka. Do you know what I mean? But
Okay.
I think Saka is one of the most exciting players in English football at the moment because he's so young and he's still developing. And I think that every single game that I watch him, he's the standout performer. I think every Arsenal game, I think he's a standout performer. He's consistent. When he played for England, and I know obviously he was playing in that wing-back role that he's not entirely used to, but he still looked good. I just think he's an exciting player, and I like him.
Difference for me when it comes to Saka and Foden is that Saka can do it all over the pitch. Saka can play left back, left mid, or left wing. Don't get me wrong. Foden's talent is arguably unmatched for his age group.
Well, as my counter comment to that, I would say Phil Foden at the moment is arguably probably one of the best right wingers / inside forwards in the Premier League, and he's top goal scorer, I believe. Matt, and for Man City.
No, he's not.
Who?
No,
Phil Foden? No, he's got like 3 goals this season.
No, he's got more than that.
No, he's genuinely only scored 3 goals in the Premier this season.
Really?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm fairly confident on that. Right?
He's only got 12.
Someone, please.
But Phil Foden definitely. Well, Phil Foden, in my opinion, he plays centre mid. But I do. He's that good in his position. You don't need to play. You wouldn't play him left back. You just wouldn't get him out of the game like that. And Saka is good, but he's good at Arsenal. There's sort of a difference. You're asking Phil Foden to be the best player in a team full of world-class players. You're asking Saka to be a good player around okay players. That's
Europa League team.
Saka's doing it at a mid-table club. Phil Foden's playing at the team that's gone 20 games unbeaten now. And he was 19 when the season started as well. So
Foden scored 6
people
goals.
forget about that.
The fact that Foden, like City are struggling, like they didn't have a striker, a recognised striker, and they were missing Aguero and they were missing Gabriel Jesus, and Foden was sort of stepping up and he was starting to score more goals and he was looking like more and more of a threat. Whereas Saka, like Arsenal have been really struggling, and he didn't pull them out of that. If you get me, like I don't know, it's tough. It's a tough one.
Yeah,
I would go for Foden over Saka. If I had to pick someone to go into my team, it would be Foden.
You say Saka pulling out Arsenal when they're not playing well, but when Foden was doing it, they still had the likes of Bernardo.
Yeah.
They still had so many world-class players compared to Arsenal's team. It's a lot easier to pull Man City out of a rut than it is Arsenal.
But it's also harder for Foden to get into that City team and
I agree with that as well.
There. I think people forget how young he is because of how long he's been like a name now.
He's got to fight for his position over 4 world-class players in Man City. Saka, they haven't got out and out left back, have they really? So, or out and out like left forward. So that's why.
He was competing with Maitland-Niles, like.
Yeah, and he's now gone on loan, isn't he? So that's why I would say Foden.
So has everyone gone for Foden? Is that what the general?
Well, I've got
consensus is?
Saka to mention him, so I think he's been quite.
I'm gonna still vote Saka, so that's 3 votes to 2. So
Yeah. I think that's fair.
yeah. All right, so 3 votes for Foden, 2 votes for Saka. So overall, I guess Foden is the young player of the season so far.
I bet he can't wait to think that he's the young player of the season.
Yeah.
Who was next then for talking points? Who would like to go next?
I'll go.
All right, Dobby, you go.
No, so my talking point is a quick one about the Brighton goal that never was, and the controversy regarding VAR and the referees. And so I don't know if any of you saw it, but I was watching it, and Brighton had a free kick just left the centre of the box. And the referee blows his whistle, but Stockdale for West Brom was on his right post, checking the wall. So Lewis Dunk does what any player would and shoots into an open goal and scores. Referee goes, hang on a minute.
Quick free kick.
Goes, hang on a minute, like the keeper wasn't ready, like, hold on. Then Lewis Dunk's like, well, you've blown the whistle. So that's obviously a goal. And the referee remembers that he'd blown the whistle, has a chat to his lino, gives the goal. And VAR pipes up and goes, hang on a minute.
Mm-hmm.
We think we can hear apparently, I didn't know what was going on when I was watching it live. I don't think anyone knew what was going on. I had Paul Merson in the other room on Gillette Soccer Saturday, having absolutely no idea what was going on. It was an absolute shambles. It took too long. VAR then gets in his ear and says, we think we can hear a whistle before the ball gets to the back of the net, so you have to retake the free kick. And that took, again, some time to get down, the information gets fed down to the pitch, and then the referee tells the players and captains, everything like that. And eventually, the free kick got retaken and Lewis Dunk missed, and we all know what happened. West Brom go to 1-0. But my argument is the problem VAR, or is VAR highlighting that the referees aren't good enough?
I mean, I've been saying this for ages. I don't think that refereeing is up to scratch. I really don't. I think some of the refereeing decisions that are going on, like, well, not even just this season or last season, it's been for quite a few seasons now, I'd say. I really don't think that it's been up to scratch, but it makes it even worse now because they can hide behind VAR. And what I don't understand is everyone always talks about, like, VAR's bad, VAR's this, VAR's that. I don't think there's anything wrong with VAR. I really don't. At the end of the day, it's a piece of technology. VAR is only talked about in a bad way because of the people that use it and the people that are making the decisions on going by the information that they're getting through this technology. I think it's nothing about VAR at all. It's about the people using it, which ultimately are the referees and the officials.
I personally hate VAR with a passion. It's so unnecessary in my opinion. Like, I think it's not eliminated human error from the game, and it never was. The only thing it's brought to the game is more uncertainty and probably poorer decision making, and it just ruins the game. It's like VAR seems to be given more penalties than ever before, but disallowing more goals than ever before. And it just seems to be, it's the talking point every weekend.
Yeah, it does seem to be taking the fun out of football, doesn't it? Because you see all like these ex-pros like Alan Shearer and that saying that players can't even celebrate when they have a goal anymore. Which takes out the fun in football, especially when you're going to see live football matches as well. You don't know whether it's going to be a goal or not.
As you guys know, obviously I've watched League One football, and Lawrence will have the same with Championship football. But I watch awful refereeing decisions every week. I don't have to watch them, then go back over it on VAR. And to be honest with you, it's so much better that way. You just go, the ref was awful, you got it wrong, but you don't actually know, so it's fine. You know, it was better that way. It was a talking point, but it wasn't the focus of every game.
Was football bad? Was football that bad anyway before VAR? I don't know.
So
referee decisions.
Are you saying that you'd much prefer to be talking about poor referee decisions rather than VAR every single week?
VAR is it's just a massive. Well, the problem with VAR is they're expected to have got rid of human error completely, but it's not worked. So now it's all anyone talks about. Whereas if a referee gets a decision wrong before, you say to yourself, he's got that wrong, but he's had one look at it. People say they want refs to come out after him to do interviews. I personally I don't want to see Mike Dean making big decisions so that he can get himself on TV after to talk about it, because some of the referees are definitely going to have that sort of ego. But I'd rather, back in the day, a referee made the wrong decision, you'd have people whinge about it, but that was it. You wouldn't have the argument of, well, he's watched it on TV over and over, he's seen it like every angle, and they've still got it wrong. And then they've added so many other silly parts of what defines, like, at what point should they overturn a decision and stuff like that? Like, when's it clear and obvious?
I agree with some of the things you're saying. Like there needs to be more work to it. Like, so many other sports make a video assisted referee work. Like, football hasn't got to that stage yet, but I don't agree by saying it's a bad thing to come into football, because you do get right decisions given now, whereas someone could be offside and it could be the difference between a team going down or winning the league, but because we can see that they're offside and they're 100% offside, like, you can't argue about offsides anymore because you can see that they're offside. Like,
just last season, a team went down that should have stayed up because of
I 100% agree with that.
Because Sheffield, it was the Villa game, wasn't it? Where the ball's gone in the net. They've not given the decision. They've stayed up by those points. The other team's gone down. And
you can see by VAR that the ball crossed the line, but VAR wasn't used to, and they've used goal line technology. So I think there's a place for VAR in football. It needs to be worked on, but it's a tough one again. But I don't agree that it's a terrible thing to have in football. I definitely think there's a place for it.
Yeah, I agree with the fact that there should be a place for it. The few tweaks for me would be, one, defining clear and obvious. There's been plenty of times often we don't know. And two, let us listen to the referees. Let us hear.
Yeah, get microphones on them. Spot on.
You hear it in cricket. You hear it in rugby. Let us listen to the referees.
Biggest thing I think it takes away, though, is for the fans that are in the stadium, which, in my opinion, are the most important people. They're the ones whose experiences are going to be getting shafted. You look at City v Tottenham in the Champions League semi-final again, and this did lead to a right decision.
But that's the thing, Matt. You can't just say, oh, we want the fans to have a good experience in the grounds when the wrong decisions are being made. Like, you need the right decisions. Like, there's no.
If the decision making is still not 100% perfect, then it's pointless anyway, because there have been goals where they've whacked out the shadiest of lines and their lines don't work because they don't have perfect vision on the pitch. They don't have their cameras aren't everywhere in the stadium. They're not lined up perfectly with everything. So a lot of these offside decisions where they're giving it off by like this much and they're changing whether it's the bottom of the sleeve or the top of the sleeve. There's so many human errors still going. I think there are more errors from VAR going on than there are correct decisions. And it's other stuff, like it's the offsides where they let players play the whole play out and they're risking players getting injured. And then just because they already know it's offside, but then the linos don't feel comfortable anymore making the decision. They go, well, we'll wait for the computer to do it.
Again, going off what you've just said, I'd like to take you back to my point, which was, I don't think VAR is just technology. VAR is not whacking up these dodgy lines. It's the people using them.
Yeah.
I really strongly think that VAR absolutely is a good thing and it should be in football. It's the people using it.
They make
sometimes you see like some decisions that you think, how is it that with VAR, everybody at home, every pundit, every player watching the footage, but you're watching thinks it's this, but you've given this. How is that? How is?
Right, well, my question is to you then, because it's been around for 6 or 7 years now, VAR. And have you ever seen it at all in anywhere in the country, like the world that's been using VAR, use it right for a whole season? I haven't, and I don't think we're going to, which is why I'd rather just get rid of it.
But that's why I agree with Josh, because other sports have made it work and making it work every season they play with ease. So we're making it work.
Other sports are slower.
I agree with Josh and say that it's the people using it, and I think we're so stuck in our ways because we don't want to make our like at the start of it, we didn't want to make our refs look stupid, so we would give them the benefit of the doubt, and now it's gone completely the other way, and it's taken away from the referees, and now like it's just a massive cluster of badness.
I would say that I think the best example of VAR being used correctly, consistently, would be in the World Cup. I think the VAR. I can't think of very many VAR decisions that I think that wasn't right in the World Cup. I honestly can't.
Can you remember any VAR decisions in the World Cup?
Yeah, I remember. I remember. What was it against Peru? England versus Peru. And now, like, you get like, I think Harry Kane got rugby tackled in the box or something like that for a corner. Normally, that never would have been given because nobody would have seen that. But that is a penalty. Like, it is.
Like the thing with referees, yeah, they can miss things, like they're human. They can't see everything on the pitch. So if something happens that the ref doesn't see, it can't be punished without VAR. Like, I think that's a good thing to be added to football. Like, if the referee can't see everything, why not give him a bit of assistance?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to say we'll have to move on to our next talking point because we have been discussing this for quite a while.
No apology.
It's a heated one.
So who's next?
Yeah, it's even. I can go if you want, boys.
Go on, Tom.
Right, so my talking point this week is going to be Lingard for West Ham. Obviously, he's moved there from Manchester United in the January transfer window on loan to the end of the season. He's played 5 games, got 3 goals and 1 assist. Against Man City, he was arguably one of the outstanding performers on the pitch, if not definitely for West Ham. He was shaking their defence when he was picking up the ball in deep areas. Obviously, a quality player. My 2 questions to you guys is, 1, does he get back into the Man United team if he goes back? And 2, if he doesn't go back to Man United, what does he do at the end of the season? Does he stay at West Ham, or does he try and move abroad? Does he try and move to a different Premier League club? We'll go with the Man United question first. So, does he get back into the United squad for you? No. Give me some reasons, Nate.
It's nothing. It's nothing to do with him, like, solely. It's just the way that Bruno is playing at the moment. You can't put Lingard in over Bruno. Like, Bruno has been
good back
for United. So, like, no matter.
Would he not be a rotational player for you?
I mean, he obviously could do that job, but then you've got other players like Van der Beek and, these other players that have come in. They've got to be given their chance. Lingard had his chance and he started playing terribly for United. And I'm glad to see him picking up a bit of form. And if he can carry it on, then that's good for him. And maybe he can, make a push to get in that Euro squad. I don't know, but I don't think he comes back to United and gets in the team. Like,
I kind of think it's him playing well at West Ham is obviously helping himself, and arguably it could be helping the Man United team as well, because if players like Van der Beek, if they're looking at him thinking he's going to be coming back in the summer, they're going to be worried about their positions in the team as well. So I think it's such a good move for him and the club.
Yeah.
Obviously, as well, before he went out to West Ham, if we're going to sell him, we probably weren't going to get any more than 20 million max for him.
Yeah.
Now he's looking like arguably one of the best attacking midfielders in the Prem, playing for West Ham, obviously having a really good season.
The thing with him as well is, would he want to come back and be a bit part player behind Bruno? Would he want to come back to United and then sit on the bench again and wait for Bruno to be injured, or wait for a rotation of the squad or whatever? He could, like he's shown at West Ham, he could go to West Ham and he could get in that team. He'd be one of the first names on the team sheet, and he would play well there. Like, he's not a bad player.
Did you see his interview after his West Ham debut? He's like, I just love football. I just love playing football. For me, if I was him, I would make the West Ham move permanent, because obviously he's a fit for them. He's doing very well. He's in form. Why not be a 100% starter, pushing for Champions League.
100%.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there, Lawrence. I reckon he should. I kind of like part ways with Man United now. Like he did have a couple good couple seasons at Man United. I think obviously he's gone off the boil. I think he did have some personal issues as well, didn't he? With his mum and whatnot. But obviously, I think he should just like turn that page now. And mate, going to West Ham as well. How old is he as well? Is he 28 years old? Lingard? Matt, you'll probably know.
Something like that.
Yeah. You're thinking like that's like the peak of your football, isn't it? So
yeah,
I think he wants to be playing week in, week out.
So I would say that I mean for West Ham, correct me if I'm wrong, he plays slightly further up the pitch, doesn't he? Then just in sort of like the centre of midfield, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's an attacking midfielder, isn't he? He's like
so Fornals tend to sides a lot.
So again, I don't necessarily think that he would get into United.
Get in the Chelsea team.
However, I don't know. Maybe you might want to play him or Bruno as like sort of a false nine and not play an out and out striker, because I think that he's probably better than Martial at the moment.
Lingard gets in the United team ahead of Martial, Dan James, Mason Greenwood.
But I think is as well. I mean, it's not just United. It happens to every single Premier League club. Well, Chelsea is a big, like a massive notable one. But I think the problem is like you've got these clubs that loan out players, and then the correct decision, they go off. They have like they play some amazing football. Then they have like this decision to make after their loan spell where they think, do I move on or do I go back? And I think you saw it with Dean Henderson. I think it was the wrong decision for him to go back to United. If I'm honest, because he was playing every single game for Sheffield United. He was one of the best. It was one of the best keepers in the league last season, and now obviously he doesn't get in over De Gea, which I don't really know what he expected.
Well, if you're Dean Henderson, then what do you want him to do? You want him to go back on loan to Sheffield United again?
Who are going to get relegated?
Or do you want? How does he get himself into being England's number one, being in the Champions League,
and the biggest club in the world? Yeah.
How does he get himself there without?
Doesn't necessarily have to be Sheffield United. I just think it was the wrong decision for him to go back to United. Whether he made his move to Sheffield permanent or whether he went to a different club, I just think it was the wrong decision.
But he's still young as a goalkeeper. He's still really young, and De Gea hasn't, like, as much as it pains me to say as a United fan, De Gea hasn't got much more in him. Like, you see him starting to slow up. Like, he's still an incredible goalkeeper. Don't get me wrong, but
he's got an expiry
date. Cash in on it. They're gonna have to get rid of it. And then Dean Henderson's there ready. Like, he's a very good goalkeeper.
You chuck Dean Henderson in, you risk doing to him what Chelsea did to Kepa. And that's taking a really good goalkeeper, exposing him, and then it not working out. It almost happened to De Gea when he first joined United. He joined so young, and because he's young, he made mistakes and he wasn't very good realistically.
Yeah.
But they stuck with him, and he got better, and he became arguably the best keeper in the world for a period of his career. So you can't you can't drop one of the world's best goalkeepers and say, we're going to put you in here now. Every mistake you make, the fans are going to say, why are you doing this when we've got De Gea? They're giving Dean Henderson a chance to slowly get himself in the team. He plays well every time he's in there. He'll probably play the whole Europa League. He might win a European trophy this season. I think he's gaining his own experience, and it's a different experience playing for a club like Man United than it is any other club on loan.
Yeah.
Because you're exposed a lot more. If he makes a mistake, even in one of the small games, he's going to get a lot more abuse than the mistakes he made at Sheffield United, like against Liverpool.
He made a mistake. He played against Sheffield United in the Prem, didn't he? He made that mistake like really early on in the game. But he must have been like so nervous.
Yeah.
Like if you imagine that every week, that's going to get to him. You know, he needs to build up a bit of confidence playing for United. Like, it's a massive club. It's a big step up for Sheffield United. And I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's a Man United fan at heart as well. So it's massive for him.
Right, boys, we'll round that one off. Josh, who's going next?
I'll go next. I wanted to just talk about Cardiff City under Mick McCarthy. So down in the real football leagues, the Championship. Mick McCarthy took over Cardiff 10 games ago. They've won 7 and drawn 3 in their last 10. They won 4-0 to Derby last night, who are themselves a decent-looking team under Rooney, or better than they were anyway. They've just gone into the 6th spot now. I've just want to talk about how good a manager Mick McCarthy is, because I think he gets this, one of these other English managers who gets this idea of dinosaur football probably put next to his name. He was at Ipswich for a long time. They went around mid-table every year, nothing spectacular, but the job there he was doing was incredible. The Ipswich fans wanted him out. They were saying it's boring, we should be going for the Prem, we're a Premier League club, like a lot of clubs seem to think they are. And then the moment he leaves, relegation, mid-table League One, probably going to be mid-table League One again. And then before that, he was at Wolves, got Wolves promoted. I just wanted to quickly talk about that. I think Cardiff now is a long season, a lot of good teams in Championship, but they're in a really good position, and we could be seeing them in the Prem next year.
I think he's done a quality job. As much as it pains me to say as a Norwich City fan, I think McCarthy's a quality manager. Well, the job he did at Ipswich is not talked about enough. The fact they kept them in that league, let alone got them into the playoffs a few times. The second he gets sacked, where they finished bottom of the league, struggling incredibly bad, haven't finished in the playoffs once in League One, mid-table, just sacked Paul Lambert, who is probably before his appointment at Ipswich was thought about to be a better manager than Mick McCarthy.
Yeah,
he's been before as well. I'm so, as a Norwich fan, I'm so glad we've played Cardiff twice and beaten twice, because they've got Watford to play, they've got Swansea to play, which I think they'll beat. I think they'll beat Swansea at the Liberty. They've also got Brentford to play. I'm so, as a biased opinion, I'm really happy for Cardiff. They've got to play our rivals soon.
There are a lot of teams going for that sixth spot, a lot of good teams. Cardiff, they might be one of the favourites for it now, realistically.
You don't want, if Cardiff make playoffs, you don't want them in the playoffs.
No.
Not at all. I think he's done a quality job. Very underrated manager, very good manager. Am I right in saying he was in the Northern Ireland South at one point? Was that something completely?
He was Republic of Ireland manager for 2 years, and then he went to Cyprus.
Yeah, completely underrated in my opinion. Really good manager. I'm happy for him.
Right. Was there one more talking point, Nate? Was there?
Yeah. I want to talk about Gareth Bale and his current form. Obviously, he's had a shocker at Real Madrid. Not been getting played, sat on the bench. Comes over to Tottenham. To begin with, he looked like he was just going to be a flop. But in the past 4 games, 4 goals and 3 assists. Some good goals as well. Very good goals.
Good numbers as well, that, isn't it?
Yeah. And,
you have got to also argue about the quality of opponent he was playing, because who was he playing in the Europa League?
Yeah, I mean, but you can only play the team in front of you, and they have been playing quickly, you know. So, true. You know, but my question to you boys is, can he get back to starting, like being one of the first names on the team sheet for Spurs? Can he get that back? But also, can he get back to the form that he was in when maybe not world class, but you know, can he be that player again?
I think he can definitely get into the first team with Spurs. But the only reason he won't go back to prime Bale is Jose Mourinho.
Yeah, I can agree with that actually.
Yeah,
doesn't suit that free flow and attack.
Yeah, I think Jose Mourinho's formations ask too much of him defensively. Especially, we know what Jose Mourinho's football was like. So, and obviously Bale when he was at Madrid, he was arguably again unplayable. But
yeah,
I just don't think he'll get back to the prime, only because he was going to be asked to do too much defensive work for Jose Mourinho, and he doesn't want to do that. He is a luxury player as well. I think a lot of people like underestimate how much of a luxury player he is, but
he is getting on a bit now as well. Mind, he's not like your sort of mid-20s anymore.
So do you see him changing his position and changing the way, like the style he plays now? Do you see him not being that right winger and he starts going a bit more central?
That's quite a hard question, actually.
I think when you watch Bale, he looks like maybe he's fell out of love with football a little bit.
Yeah,
so I don't think he'll have long left in his career. I give him maybe to the next World Cup, and then once he decides he's going to sack it in for Wales, he'll either make a big money move or he'll just retire. Because a lot of footballers do just dislike football and they just do it because they're good at it, and I think because of what's happened at Real Madrid,
so that's fair enough, and I think anyone in that situation would struggle to keep their love for football. But if he starts finding form and he carries on for the rest of the season, don't you see him getting that love back? Because it's definitely like when you're playing bad and you're not getting played, and it will take a toll. But once you start playing well again, you're gonna end up hearing fans singing your name and like all of that stuff. It must bring something back for you.
I know, because I don't think it's the on the pitch stuff that he's fell out of love with. I think it's the whole way how football works as a whole. It's the being on the front page of the press, being accused of being lazy, and it's stuff like Mourinho come out and said that Bale lied about picking up the knot. No, he said Bale lied about having a good training session. He said he didn't turn up for it, lazy, didn't do it. I think it's not that. I'm sure every person enjoys being on the pitch and scoring a winning goal in front of thousands of fans and stuff. I think it's the whole, what the package that comes with being a footballer, that I'm sure is what he's probably fallen out of love with. And it's just, after every year, the more money he makes because he's rich and he doesn't need to go on forever. Obviously, football's a short career as it is. But I just think that after a few more years, he'll either head off to China and take the big money, or he'll just retire.
Well, I think short term, I think he will definitely start for Spurs, because he's never going to start over Kane, he's never going to start over Son, but I do believe that he is better than Lucas Moura, and I do believe that he is better than Steven Bergwijn, and I think that he deserves his place there. Everyone knows what Bale can do, and everyone knows what Bale has been for Real Madrid and what Bale has been for Spurs. But I think that what people don't appreciate is that he was never going to come to Spurs and then hit form straight away, because he wasn't playing any football for such long spells of time. And you could argue like, oh yeah, well, he has been training, yeah, but it's not sort of like true to match fitness. Like training will never be the same as playing a match. And I don't know, I just think it was a bit unfair for everyone to start pointing fingers at him straight away, saying that, oh, he's been a massive flop since he's come back. No, you've got to let players settle back in, and I do believe that he is that better player. I do believe that I think Spurs' front three should be Bale, Kane, and Son, and I think that front three is, probably one of the best front threes in the league. I honestly do believe that.
An argument against this idea that you need half a season to get match fit to be able to start more than one game in a row. Jesse Lingard didn't play football for over a year. And he clearly, this is, in my opinion, the difference between still being in love with football and not. Jesse Lingard clearly kept putting the work on off the pitch. He stayed fit and he kept himself as good as possible.
Yeah,
if Bale was that 21-year-old lad at Tottenham playing left back, left mid or whatnot, who'd picked up a year-long injury, I guarantee he'd have worked so hard. When he could play again, he'd be ready to play 90 minutes each week.
Don't you see that as
6 months of 20-minute appearances to be able to get a start in the Europa League? That's obviously, we don't see what goes on behind the ground. But I think if Bale works that hard and still wanted to do that, he'd have been starting from the start of the season, and it wouldn't take till now for him to be in, and probably put in because Jose Mourinho is under pressure himself.
Yeah, this is Gareth Bale as well, by the way. Like, this is his talent anyway, and how good he is on the pitch. Like, fitness is a massive point, but he should be in that Tottenham squad. I think he should be in that starting team. If he was in love with football, like Matt says, he would be in that team from day dot, in my opinion. Gareth Bale, wasn't it? Like, he was unbelievable, wasn't he? So I just think he might have run off. Right.
We're going to have to move on to our team of the season so far, because time is ticking on. I don't think any of us realised how long we were talking about that. So, again, we're going for, like a little bit like last week, we're doing our Premier League 11, except this time it's going to be, this current season, we're going to be talking about our team of the season so far. So obviously, Yeah, we're going to be doing 4-3-3, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And are we going to pick a holding midfielder, or are we just going to pick three midfielders?
Just three midfielders.
Three midfielders. All right. Okay. Well, yeah. So again, we're going to be going back to front, right to left.
Yeah.
So starting keeper, then right back, and then all the way up to left wing. So, who would like to throw a name in for goalkeeper first?
I feel like there's only really two options, right?
Yeah, there's two options. But
All right, Tom, who have you picked?
I'm going for Martinez for Aston Villa.
He is also my
Pick Martinez.
He's my keeper.
I've gone for Edison because he's got the most clean sheets this season, and I don't want to reward a player just because he's having a great season, but at a worse club doesn't mean he's having a better season than someone who's having a greater season at a better club. If that makes sense.
The only reason I've gone for Martinez is because he's going to be facing more shots per game than Edison.
That's true.
So that's the only reason. Edison is there, but Martinez for me just had Edison. Go on, mate, sorry.
Edison's conceded 16 goals this season, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Martinez has conceded 26. So in comparison, like, you know, the difference between the Aston Villa team and the Man City team, like, to concede 16 goals with, you know, Man City is quite a lot in comparison to 26 as Aston Villa. Like, Aston Villa are obviously having a good season, but Martinez, in his whole career, he's made 39 appearances in the Prem. And he's kept 19 clean sheets, and 24 of those appearances and 13 of those clean sheets have been this season. Like, he's been incredible this season, and he has been, like, the best in my opinion.
That's true, but if City only concede, I think it's 4 more goals between now and the end of the season, which is possible that they don't concede more than that, then only one club / keeper has ever conceded less in a season, and that's like for a whole 38 game season. That's Petr Cech at Chelsea the season where Chelsea only conceded, I think it was 14 goals in a year. I think 16 goals, 30 games.
15.
Very good. And it's a different task to be a goalkeeper who doesn't do anything for 60 minutes in a match and then has to then make a save. And in some ways, it's probably more difficult to keep yourself switched on. And he's got more assists than the likes of Wijnaldum. He's got more assists than Wijnaldum this season from goalkeeper. Like, that is enough. I know got a lot of people say goalkeeper's job is to save shots, but he also he's the start of City's attacks. He's the reason City. He's the reason that Stones and Diaz can go stand next to their strikers, because they know any ball that goes over the defenders, Edison's there to mop it up anyway. Realistically, I'm happy for Martinez to go in, but I think Edison's probably.
I think everyone can agree that Edison is obviously a very, very good goalkeeper, but I think, you know, Martinez playing for Aston Villa, he is coming in front of a lot more shots. He's just, and considering, you know, he was playing for Arsenal for I don't know how many years, but he didn't get a look in. And then this is his first season where he fully gets a look into a starting 11. And I think he's taking it with both hands. I think he's doing very well.
Okay, I think we can all agree that Martinez is the goalkeeper then.
Yeah.
Edison, honourable mention, but
yeah, I've got some stats to back up Martinez just quickly before we move on. He's faced with double the shots that Edison has and has a higher save percentage. So Edison has only had 41 saves to make at a 71% save success, and Martinez has had 92 saves to make at a 78% success rate.
Yeah,
so it's higher and over double the amount of saves. So that's why he's in my team.
Yeah. I mean, he's having a phenomenal season, isn't he? And I mean, even at Arsenal, I thought he was a good keeper, especially when we saw him make a few like sort of cameo appearances last season. I think he was solid. All right, moving on to our right back position. I know that we try not to discuss it before recording, but we had a few little bust ups, didn't we, in Xbox parties and stuff like that about our right back position. Lawrence sort of starting most of those arguments. So, I think it's only fair that we start with Lawrence for the right back position.
I'll have you know, I never. So previous to this, I didn't want to discuss the teams. Matt Chambers assumed I didn't have this player in my team.
You said you didn't have him in there, mate. That's
João Cancelo.
You've gone for João Cancelo?
Yeah, with Matty Cash as an honourable mention.
because he realised he's.
That's fair.
So I've also gone for João Cancelo.
Yeah,
Me too.
It is João Cancelo.
Yeah. However, I would like to say that at one point, and he can deny it all he wants, but when me, Lawrence, and Matt were in an Xbox party, Lawrence did say that he plays left back.
Well, he does when Walker's on the pitch.
If my aunt had Will,
left back though, isn't he? He's not a left back.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't say the left back.
My granddad Will should be the Mike.
He does.
All right. So,
He's had an incredible season, let's be honest.
Yeah, he's
doing very well.
Amazing all season. We've all got him as our pick. He's going down.
Yeah.
Did anyone want to say anything more on him, or is it just like he speaks for himself?
yeah, he's just quality, isn't it?
He's just awesome. Moving on to what was that, Dobbo?
No, I'm just saying he's completely different this season. Like he's unriddled.
I agree.
Yeah. Moving on to our first of our centre-back positions. I know I struggled a little bit. I put one name down straight away for a centre-back position, but then the second one...
Isn't there one we all agree with, realistically? Do we not all agree on Ruben Diaz?
Yeah, 100%.
Yes,
What player he's been for City this season.
That's
Ruben Diaz as well, yeah.
We can chuck him in.
Again, he speaks for himself. First season in the Prem. He's absolutely phenomenal. He's got the likes of John Stones next to him, who he's just completely... He's changed John Stones this season. He's just been absolutely phenomenal, I think. I love his positioning. I love his pace to get to, to make recovery runs. His tackling's amazing. He's good in the air. He is just a great centre-back.
Leading on from that, my next centre-back is John Stones.
No.
It was mine. Mine is as well.
I've put John Stones just because of their partnership, but I was reluctant to put Stones down because I feel it's Diaz that is making Stones look very good. He's having a good season, don't get me wrong, but Diaz has been incredible. And like, as a Man United fan, when I saw Vincent Kompany leave City, I was like, that's class. Like, that is a huge player. And when they didn't get another centre back in, I was sat there thinking, this is incredible. Like, there's a massive hole in their squad now, and they're not filling it. And I feel like they've signed Diaz, and he is that player. Like, he's been incredible.
I'm gonna chuck another name here because, in my opinion, this lad deserves to be in for sure. Ezri Konsa from Aston Villa. He's got the most clean sheets of a centre back in the Premier League this season. He's got the most blocks. His tackles are ridiculously high. He's just him, Tyrone Mings, and Martinez have formed that triangle at the back. They play every game together. You rarely see him make mistakes. He's always finding the right positions. He puts his body on the line. I think that he'd be in my team this season so far because what he brings to that team is much more important than what John Stones has maybe brought to see. Although he looked much better now, they've still got times where he gets dropped and Laporte comes in. But you can't drop Konsa at the moment.
I had Mings as an honourable mention. I actually forgot about Konsa, I'm not going to lie, but I knew I watch him on Match of the Day every time Aston Villa play, and he is outstanding. But I did have Stones in my team because if Man City are on this run now where they're 21 games unbeaten, like winning in a row, it's incredible, isn't it? So I feel like him and Diaz are the.
I feel like it's a bit unfair taking it away from John Stones, saying that Laporte comes into that team because switching John Stones for Laporte is not a bad option, is it? Like.
No, but in my head, you guys have put Martinez in ahead of Ederson, and then sort of you've done that on the idea of look at who Martinez has done this for. And Stones just played half a season and obviously playing incredible. Arguably the second best centre back in the league, but I don't think he's had the second best season in the league. But team of the season, you've got to look at the whole beforehand. City were for a while sat around the 8th position, 7th position, and then
So I really struggled picking my second centre back, and in the end, I did pick Stones. I really cannot. I couldn't think really of another alternative that I think was having a better season. I would like to make an honourable mention, and don't get me wrong, he doesn't come anywhere near the starting 11. He really doesn't. But
If it's Thiago Silva, sharp.
Yeah,
I would say Thiago Silva.
Oh my god!
No way!
Oh,
He's moved from PSG.
Don't waste your time.
He's moved from PSG, 36 years old. Everyone thought, do you know what? He's 36 years old. The Prem's too physical for him. He will never do it. He's come in.
He hasn't done it.
Look at his debut.
Shored up that Chelsea defence. He's completely shored up.
He doesn't play.
Yeah, he's got. No, to be fair, he's got them battling from the Europa League this season. So
He doesn't. If he
doesn't.
Captain, leader, legend. What a player!
Injured, he plays every game. That's a fact.
He doesn't even play in the Chelsea team.
Your options at Chelsea.
Yeah,
you don't have any other options. Obviously, you're going to play Thiago Silva.
If Phil Jagielka was playing every week for Sheffield United, I wouldn't put him in just because he's almost 40.
What I'm saying is, he's 36 years old, and I think he's still one of the most experienced, the most defensively.
Oh yeah, experience. He's 36 years old.
He's 36, and he's still got experience.
Yeah, of course he's experienced. He's 36 years old and played at PSG.
Yeah, but do you know how good he used to be? Do you know how good he used to be?
Yeah.
No, he's nowhere near the team. Christensen gets closer to the team than him because he's played more games.
No, he hasn't. Christensen hasn't played more games than Thiago Silva.
Okay, Rudiger gets closer.
Fofana and Johnny Evans deserve honourable mentions.
Johnny
Evans. Johnny Evans is a quality centre back.
Done well.
It sounds like you guys have gone for John Stones, but that's fine.
Yeah, we're going for Stones then, yeah.
Can I just put a shout out there for, if this player was not injured, he would arguably be in this team, and that is Soyuncu for Leicester, because last season he was an absolute beast and got injured.
But then if you throw in Soyuncu, Virgil van Dijk,
Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah, no, that was an obvious one, but I thought I'd give Soyuncu a little mention.
Can I say
quality?
Tarkowski from West Ham.
What?
No, not from Burnley.
Sorry?
Burnley. He's good. I don't mind him.
Good player, but
I'd actually hang on that topic. I would mention Ogbonna because West Ham in the top 4, and him and Declan Rice and a couple other players.
But
we'll get to Declan Rice in a minute.
If Josh is able to say Thiago Silva, am I allowed to say Harry Maguire?
No.
Can I say Vidic because he used to be experienced?
So left back position.
There's 3 options for me, but I think there's only one. So there's 2 honourable mentions and 1 standout for me.
Who are 2 honourable mentions?
My 2 honourable mentions are Aaron Cresswell and Luke Shaw, and Digne is my left back.
Aaron Cresswell's my left back because he's got the most assists, most clean sheets. Luka Dean's only got 3 clean sheets this season, so as much as he brings attacking offensively, they've not done enough of the defence as a club, and he's part of that. So, quality player.
Mine, again, it is those 3, but Luke Shaw is my standout.
So I'm going for Luke Shaw.
I've gone for Luke Shaw as well, just because he's had. It might be a bit biased because I'm obviously a United fan, but he's had a tough time at United, and then this season he's just been easily one of the first names on the team sheet, and he'll
be player of the season as well, Man United.
Yeah, 100%. And his crossing ability, you've never seen him go forward as much as he has this season, and he's just changed his game and he's just leveled up.
That's fair, but if we were picking most improved 11 of the season, I'd understand.
Yeah,
I think it's a bit unfair to just say, because he's having a much better season than he's had for a couple of years, to say that all of a sudden he's the best left back is probably. I think he's fared behind Cresswell and Luka Dean for how they've performed this season.
Luca Dean's got the same assists as Cresswell this season.
He does, yeah.
So I've gone for Luke Shaw because I'm against the whole improved player thing. I just think if you're having a good season, you're having a good season. If you're one of the best left backs in the league, you're still one of the best left backs in the league, whether you're most improved or not. And I think
why at Man United is he conceded more goals than Cresswell at West Ham?
Because Harry Maguire is a fucking trot.
You can't say it's all coming, because it's not all come from Harry Maguire. It's come from the left. It's come from the right. In my opinion, Cresswell is playing at a team where they're on the back foot a lot more than United are, conceding less, and he's contributing more going forward. No, I'm not saying Shaw's having a bad season. Obviously, he's having an incredible season. But in my opinion, Cresswell is having a better season. He's obviously three of you picked Shaw, but I think Lawrence would agree that Shaw's probably third behind Luca Dean and Cresswell. So I think he's getting into the team because he's a bigger name.
Since the summer,
I think you're all biased.
Alex Telles, who's an absolute baller, and he's keeping him out of the team, and I think that says a lot.
Yeah, but that's nice.
I think the difference, Luke Shaw as well. Like he's not just assisting. Like the way he's playing going forward, he's given another option. But obviously, I see more of Man United games than I do of West Ham. Like, I will go out of my way to watch a United game, whereas I won't do that with West Ham. So I don't get to see as much. But like, I don't know. It was a toss-up between Cresswell and Shaw for me. Like, don't get me wrong, I didn't have Digne down, but Cresswell and Shaw are my two options. But I did put Shaw down.
So who are we going for then? Quick
Luke Shaw.
Three of you said Shaw, and
Three of you said Shaw. Yeah.
Shaw is in there.
Before we move on, can I just be biased for like 1 second? He doesn't get anywhere near the team. Don't get it wrong, like nowhere near the team. But can I just say how good of a season Ben Godfrey's had as his first season at Everton? He's been playing left back. He's been playing right back. He's been playing centre back. Jumping in the deep end, away at Anfield. At home against Liverpool in the derby. Played well. Everton fans love him. I think he's an absolute rock at the back. Some massive tackles, incredible pace. He's all over the pitch. I just want to say that he's had a cracking season at Everton.
He has. However, I hope that they don't keep him out fullback forever. I think he's a better centre back.
No, I agree, but it's because what was his name? Was injured, wasn't he, for a while? Seamus Coleman was injured. That's why he went out there. But now he's playing centre back and right back and everywhere. But yeah, I think he had a great season, so I wanted to mention him.
So moving on to the midfield now. Obviously, we're just going for three midfielders.
Has anyone got a holding midfielder? Because I've gone
holding.
No.
Midfielder.
Well, hang on. I think everyone agrees. Everyone's going to agree on Bruno Fernandes, right?
Yeah. I'm about to say, get the easy one out of the way.
Yeah, we just chuck him in.
No way he cannot.
15 goals, 10 assists. You're not putting him in.
Mental. Some unreal stuff.
So there's two positions then.
He's not in my team.
What?
This is when I said to you yesterday. This is when I said to you yesterday I was going to scrap him because he didn't say Bruno Fernandes in this midfield.
Look at him. Look at his face as well, because he looks like he's just come up with this genius idea where Bruno Fernandes is awful, and I see it. He only contributes.
Listen,
he's only got more goal contributions than any other player in the Premier League.
If you put Mason Mount in this team,
he's not in
over Bruno.
He's not in this team.
Who's over?
How is he?
So
there's two players.
Out my three midfielders.
No. I just want you to give me a reason as to why he's not in your top three.
Disappeared in big games. Non-existent in big games.
You mean? Hang on. By big games, you mean games against the big six? The big six in quotation
which
marks.
are now 10 teams.
Not the big games. The big games aren't them anymore. The big games are Leicester City, Everton.
Are arguably 10 teams. And I'm saying he disappears in big games.
Does he?
Yeah, but he's still got 15 goals and 10 assists.
Yeah, Josh, read out your midfield three.
I've picked one player over him. And
who?
Picked three players over him.
No, there's two names that I would maybe say fair, maybe fair, but he still gets over, but at least one of them. But
you picked three names ahead of him. I want that.
Yeah, but one of them is unfair because I have gone for a holding midfielder. So that's
fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, there you go.
If any of you,
I'm going to get stick for one. All of you will agree with one of them. I'll get stick for the other.
Is one of them Kovacic?
No.
He's one of my honourable mentions.
Not a Chelsea player.
Just spit it out, lad. Spit it out, man.
I've picked Gundogan over him.
Yeah,
No,
he's in my team. He's in my
That's
team.
fine to have Gundogan in your team, but how have you?
Over Bruno.
Who's
So who's
your
the
other
other two?
midfielder then? Because in my opinion,
He's got a
Gundogan's
bit
been
of
the second best midfielder this season.
Gundogan's not in my team.
But you're deluded as well, then, lad.
So
Just say your names, Josh. I don't care.
I've put Jack Grealish over him.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
No.
I've picked the left forwards to play centre.
A left forward to play spot on that. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
I've gone for
He's not a centre mid.
over-
He's not a centre mid. He's not a centre mid.
Oh no, hang on. I've put Salah as my holding midfielder because he's got a lot of goals this season.
Oh,
Don't get me
no.
wrong.
Experienced.
Who's your other midfielder? Who's your other midfielder?
Do you want me to read out my holding midfielder?
Yeah.
who
just
is your
across your
midfielder?
team.
Sushek.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Sushek's
alright.
in my team
Now
as
this
well.
is going to be my beef with all of you. Suchek's not a CDM. He's not played CDM all season. He doesn't play there. He's not a holding midfielder.
He's my midfielder though.
Yeah,
No,
he's
but
my
Josh
midfielder.
has said holding midfielder. I know a few of you have said that he's your holding midfielder. He doesn't play holding midfield. Doesn't play there.
Yeah, but
Declan Rice.
he's centre mid over Gundogan to me.
Can I read out my midfield? Because mine is Bruno, Sushek, and Gundogan.
Okay. Oh, you're all making me sick. Because none of you have got De Bruyne in.
I have. Thank you very much. I've got De Bruyne in my
I would put De
Bruno,
Bruyne over
KDB,
Sushek,
and
but I think
Suchek.
Sushek is.
Nave, who have you got?
KDB.
I put Bruno, KDB, and I also went for. See, I put Rice in.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
I've gone for the actual three best midfielders this season. So I've got Bruno Fernandes, Kevin De Bruyne, and Gundogan. And give us a sec. Here's why. When De Bruyne was injured, okay, or because he missed a chunk of the season. When De Bruyne was injured, City were 6th, 5th in the league. One player in that City team stood out and carried them and scored them, and that was Gundogan. And you've seen City players putting pictures up comparing him to Yaya Toure. I think if you ask any City player who their player of the season is, it's going to be Gundogan. So he's got to be in the team because they're top of the league, and it's been incredible.
KDB, it was either KDB or Sushek, but I just think because KDB has been injured and Sushek is playing so well for West Ham, that's the only reason he's in there. But
now it'd be fine if De Bruyne didn't have more goal contributions. I'm pretty sure he's top assists. He's got most assists in the league, right?
Yeah, he's got 11 assists. Yeah,
11 assists, and the season as it continues, he'll just get more and more. He's
11 assists and 3 goals, I think.
He's the best player in the Premier League. He's the best.
So we're kind of all in agreement that Gundogan, KDB, Sushek, Gundogan, and Bruno are like the top midfielders performing.
The thing is, we've got to drop one of them. And
so Bruno and KDB are in, I think. I think Bruno and De Bruyne are in.
Okay, so we're going to argue between Gundogan and Suchek.
Yeah.
I think
so. I'm putting down KDB and Bruno.
Yeah.
I would swap out Rice and then I'll play Gundogan because he has had an incredible season. Suchek has come in.
I'm going to say Gundogan as well.
Suchek has played really well. But yeah, like you said, Matt, Gundogan did, carry Man City on his back.
Yeah, but we go back to that same argument though. It's so much easier to carry Man City than it is to carry West Ham. I'm not saying Suchek carries West Ham, but I am saying that Suchek's got 8 goals. Yes, don't get me wrong, Gundogan's got 11. But I think Suchek's playing so much better in a West Ham team. Don't get me wrong, I think Gundogan plays well in West Ham team as well. But it's harder to take West Ham to 4th than it is to keep Man City at the top.
I am gonna disagree for one. So I'm gonna disagree for one reason, and that reason is that in that period where he did carry them, it didn't matter who else was in the team because although they're good players, they weren't performing. Everyone in that West Ham team, Suchek's not carrying anyone. There's no passengers in that West Ham team. For a little period, City had passengers in their team.
Who?
And everyone, when they had Ake in that lot, Ake, Laporte, Walker, and Zinchenko, weren't playing well. Fernandinho wasn't playing as well as he
They're
has
still
done.
world-class players,
Bernard,
though.
yeah, they are, but they weren't playing well. They were passengers at the time.
It's
Gundogan,
easier to carry world-class players than it is to. Okay, right.
Gundogan.
Can we have a vote? Can we have a
Look,
vote then?
Gundogan, in my opinion, has been on that list of 3 because he plays a slightly different position to Bruno, so I'm not expecting him to have 25 goal contributions. Gundogan's had the best season because he has been a 9 or a 10 every week, no matter who they're playing against.
The big argument for me is that Gundogan's always had Foden, Sterling, Mahrez, Diaz, Gabriel Jesus all around him, and it's a lot easier.
That's not a reason to not be in the team, in my
I think it's
opinion.
easier to play better when you've got those players around you. Is my argument.
Yeah, look, I love Souček, and to be honest with you, I'd pick Rice over him because I think Rice has been arguably West Ham's best player.
But he's the reason Souček can play the way he does. Really.
Yeah. And
If Souček gets in my team over Rice, because Souček does what Rice does, but he also scores.
Yeah, but if
I
Rice
don't think he does what
Souček
Rice does because
can't go
they
in
play
forward,
different
right?
positions. Souček's a good box-to-box midfielder, and Rice plays in that holding role where he plays how Fernandinho played for City.
Yeah.
Yeah, that he picks up the ball, he does the simple things brilliantly, and he makes it look so easy.
Who
Do you not think Souček?
Who are we going for then?
I
Sure.
think Souček can do that, but I don't think Rice can do what Souček does. But okay, no, it's fine. Gundogan's in the team. I'm not annoyed that Gundogan's in the team. Souček's my favourite player.
It sounds a little bit like you're annoyed that Gundogan's in the team.
To tell you what, I'll be honest. I'll be brutally honest, boys. The main reason I'm salty about Gundogan is because everyone has got him in their fantasy team, and I don't. and he contributes week in, week out, and I'm there without him. And for a period of time, I didn't have Gundogan or Souček, and I was fuming. But I did have Souček for a bit of the season, so he's in my team.
Okay.
And then we'll go back to the fact
Gundogan,
that Bruno doesn't make Josh's team.
Bruno doesn't make Josh's team.
Oh my god!
KDB gets in over Bruno as well.
No, they both get in. This is the difference. They both get in.
It's quite easy to put both of them in.
So,
it's a no-brainer that both of them get in.
I don't know. So the reason why I didn't pick KDB is because I think
Oh my god!
going off. I don't. He's having a phenomenal season, and he's probably well, he still is the best player in the Premier League. I just think this season in particular, he hasn't been as good as, for example, last season.
Wait, who did you have in then? Sorry,
did I just hear you didn't have KDB or Bruno?
No, I didn't.
Oh
my god!
Who's your other midfielder?
I told you my 3 midfielders.
Grealish.
No, you said Souček, Gundogan.
Grealish.
Oh crap! Oh my, yeah. Oh, Jack Grealish, I dislike.
Why do you dislike Jack Grealish?
I said I dislike you.
He's not a centre mid, Josh.
That's fair.
He's not a centre mid.
Yeah, but he can't. Oh, yeah.
He's not a centre. He's not. He's not a centre mid. He doesn't play centre mid.
Yeah, but he's almost 36 and he's got experience.
Yeah, he's got experience. Oh my god.
Moving on, then.
I actually cannot believe you haven't got either KDB or Bruno in your team. Do you even watch football?
I'll tell you what.
Do you watch football?
Moving on to the
get
front
a CAT
three.
scan on his brain.
I mean, I think the front 3 pick themselves.
Yes, mate. I really hope you got the same 3 that I do.
Yeah.
Can Josh go first?
Yeah, Josh. Can you say your front 3? Your right wing.
My right wing.
Your front 3.
All right.
Say your front 3.
So I've got Salah, Kane, and Son.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Yes, Josh.
Yes.
Finally.
Easy.
He says he's done a football. He knows.
He does like football.
I was going to put
the only change I wouldn't make it myself, but the only one I'd understand us on arguing was if they said Grealish for the left, because I know lots of people love Grealish, but I don't.
I mean,
he's honourable mention for me. He's honourable mention for me for the left wing because he's quality.
Yeah, but I think that front 3 is spot on.
Yeah, it picks themselves. You're right.
Salah having a bit of a bad season, but still scoring 17 goals.
if Liverpool didn't have Salah, they'd be in such worse position than what they are now, in my opinion, as well.
He is. The thing that surprises me is Mane.
We call him Mane a flop, by the way. Yeah, we call him a flop this season. 7 goals, 3 assists.
Yeah. Yeah, this season. Before
Having a bad season.
The past couple seasons, I would say that Mane has been better than Salah. Like Salah's obviously scored the goals, but Mane was so important for Liverpool.
Yeah, I agree
this
with that.
season, he's been.
Mane's been below par this season.
Yeah.
Someone I'd like to mention, because I think by the end of the season he probably gets into it ahead of someone, is Raheem Sterling. I think that he's gonna. Obviously, season's not over yet. They've still got a while to go. I think he ends up with
over Son.
Yeah, probably. Because
I could probably.
I just think between now and the end of the season, Sterling's more likely. Now that City are firing right and he's back playing an important role, he's on I think it might be 14 or 15 goal contributions. But obviously, being in the City side, the front three don't start every week. It's just.
It's a close one already, isn't it? It's a close one already. There's no denying that. So it could easily swing both ways. Sterling is an incredible player.
He's got 14 goal contributions and this season alone, and Son has got 21.
Yeah.
Another honourable mention would have been Harvey Barnes. I'm a bit glad he got injured because he was having a great season. He was almost on 10 goals.
It's just like James Maddison. He hasn't played anywhere near enough football this season, but I still think
Maddison could arguably be in the team on his day.
Again, he's another one who, come the end of the season, might be in that midfield three because
he's injured now. Though he's injured
for the rest of the season.
No, he's not played the last 2 games, and I don't think he's playing tomorrow either.
They play tomorrow. Is there any other strikers that get close to Kane? Because I mean, Kane, 14 goals and 11 assists. Like, what a player he's been this season.
I don't think anyone gets close to him. There's players having good seasons. Bamford's having a good season.
Bamford,
Calvert-Lewin as well.
Calvert-Lewin started quality, dropped off a bit. Jamie Vardy's always consistently there.
Yeah, if Newcastle stay up, you could argue Callum Wilson because he's
injured now though, isn't he? And they're struggling. Shows how important he was. Now they're struggling without him in the team.
Yeah.
Are we not saying Callum Hudson-Odoi is?
Well, he's just the best player in the Premier League.
The experience that lad has got.
He's a left back.
He might have been subbed on and off in the same game, but by far the most on-form player in the Premier League, Josh.
But now we've done the team. How Bruno didn't get in Josh's team is... I can't believe it. I'm still
No, the worst thing is I can believe it because it's Josh.
No, I still, even though it's Josh, I still can't believe that Bruno and KDB don't even get a mention in his team.
It's so for me, when I was picking it,
You're drunk.
So Gundogan gets in over Bruno for me.
What? No.
He does. I hate the fact that Bruno is absolutely fantastic in every single game apart from an important one.
Hang on. Stop using the word important because you've got this idea in your head that Chelsea are important when they're not.
I'm not on about just Chelsea though.
There's arguably 10 top 6 clubs in the Premier League now.
Scored the winner in the
and
cup
if he's scoring goals against them,
Liverpool.
Then yeah.
Scored the winner in the cup quarters against Liverpool.
I don't think it was very good. The big 6.
Yeah, that's what
the big six. The big 6 is not a thing anymore. It's just not a big. It's just not a thing.
The biggest clubs. They're not the best teams.
Yeah,
he turned up against Everton, and Everton will finish.
Leicester. He turned up against Leicester.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still standing by it.
15 goals and 10 assists, like in the Prem, is massive.
Unbelievable.
Halfway stage of the season.
Bruno scored more than Gundogan has contributed.
There we go.
I don't know how you can say that he hasn't been.
He doesn't make the Chelsea starting lineup, does he, Josh?
Because he can't play fullback.
So it doesn't fit Thomas Tuchel's incredible.
Oh my god!
So reading out the 11, then we've got Martinez. We've got Shaw at left back, Stones and Diaz at centre back, and Cancelo at right back. And then we've got Gundogan, KDB, and Bruno in midfield, and then Salah, Kane, and Son up front.
Yeah.
Is everyone happy?
All right team, isn't it? It's all right team.
It's not bad.
Do you think it would win the league?
No, not ahead of City.
Oh, can we do manager then? Should we do manager?
Yeah, that's not a bad shout.
David Moyes.
I didn't think about manager. I think David Moyes.
I was going to say David Moyes.
Doing a very good job, I need to be fair to him.
David Moyes or Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, it would even.
If West Ham finish top 4, but City win the rest of their games this season, who do you pick?
Pep.
You've got to pick Pep, surely.
Pep.
You got to pick Pep.
I would say though, if you're picking Moyes, I'd throw Brendan Rodgers in there.
I don't know. I think the Leicester team on paper is substantially better than the West Ham team.
Yeah, Leicester already finished it. Don't get me wrong, because Brendan Rodgers doing an incredible job. Arguably one of the best managers in the league, but he's kind of expected to be
last season.
He's expected to put Leicester top 7.
Yeah,
and
Leicester was a relegation battle at one point.
Leicester is starting to curtail off as well. They might slip out those Champions League spots, to be honest, with the injuries and stuff. Knocked out the Europa League as well.
Should we move on to this weekend's fixtures?
Yeah.
So, has someone got the fixtures up already, or should I?
Yeah, I've got it all on the Excel spreadsheet here, mate. I'll crack on if you want. So
I think we should
just
go over who's where.
Yeah, convenient that you want to just have a little touch on who's
shut
where
up,
in the league.
Matt.
So last week, the league table looks like this. Matt is first. So the way I've done it is for a correct score, you get 5 points. A correct result, you get 2, and you get nothing for a loss. Because that's how Super 6 does it. So I think it's a lot easier doing that way. Matt got 3 correct scores and 1 correct result. So he sits top of the league at 17 points, correctly predicting Leicester, Arsenal, Tottenham, Burnley, and Chelsea United. And unfortunately, boys, second place is Josh after correctly predicting Liverpool, Sheffield United, and getting 4 other correct results. Third is Tom on 10 points. Fourth is me with 8, and Nathan is last with 6.
Yes,
so moving on to this weekend's fixtures. First of all, so we've skipped the midweek ones. We've gone straight to the weekend. We've got 8 fixtures, Saturday and Sunday. First one on Friday is Burnley Arsenal. Turf Moor.
Read out who you want. Read out who you want to say the result.
We'll go Josh first.
Burnley Arsenal. I would go 2-0 Arsenal.
Okay, thank you. Next is Nathan.
I'll say a 3-1 Arsenal.
Next is Matt.
I'll go for 2-0 Arsenal.
And Thomas?
No, it's 2-0 Arsenal as well.
All right, okay, so I'll go 2-1 Arsenal, because hopefully Chris Wood pops up with a 90th minute consolation and I get 5 points. Right, next one, Josh, is Sheffield United Southampton. That's a tough one, you know.
Yeah.
Form from both these teams, by the way.
I don't know, you know. I reckon. Oh, I don't know. No, I reckon 2-1. But I haven't decided which way I think it's going to go yet. 2-1 Southampton.
Nathan?
1-0 Southampton.
Matt?
0-0.
Tom?
1-0 Southampton. Ward-Prowse free kick.
I've gone 1-1 for that one. Next one, Josh, is Aston Villa Wolves.
That's such tough.
That's a good game,
I think Villa will edge it. Again, I might go for another 2-1, or maybe a 3-1. No, 2-1.
2-1 Villa.
Yeah, 2-1 Villa.
Nathan.
1-0.
Matt.
Oh, it's a tough because it's a derby game. 2-1 to Wolves.
Ooh.
I was going to say 2-1 as well.
2-1 Wolves, Tom?
Yeah, I was going to say that.
I've gone 2-0 Villa.
Ooh. Okay.
Brighton Leicester at the Amex.
That's another tough one.
Who's going first? Me?
Yeah.
Like you have all the previous times, yeah.
Tell you what, after this game, I'll switch the order so it's a bit more fair on Josh.
3-0 Leicester.
Wow.
God.
Nath?
2-0 Leicester.
Matt?
3-2 Leicester.
I reckon Brighton are going to score twice.
No.
Tom?
Eric's
3-1 Leicester.
I'm going to go 2-1 Brighton.
Oh, that's what I was thinking, but I didn't go for it. I think Brighton definitely score goals this game.
Yeah. I just think Leicester's poor in a form combined with Brighton's expected goals. It depends how much you want to read into that, but I just see Brighton getting a big result this weekend. So we'll go reverse order. So we go Tom first, and we've got West Brom hosting Newcastle.
That's a dead game, isn't it?
That's a big game.
It's a big game, but yeah. I'm going to say 2-1 West Brom.
Matt?
1-0.
Nathan?
I was going to go for 1-0 as well.
And Josh?
Am I correct in saying that St. Maximin's out injured again now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
bold claim, I'm going to go 0-0.
I've gone 0-0.
It's not really a bold claim, is it? Callum
I was
Wilson's out as well.
I was expecting like a 5-2 West Brom or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a bit of a bold claim because you think, like, I mean, do Newcastle really have, I suppose, without Callum Wilson and St. Maximin, it's not really a bold claim. Well, I was going to say, is it a bold claim to say that Newcastle never score?
We're missing Almiron as well, I think.
Yeah, they're missing quite a few attacking players. No. He is dog, though, by the way. Can we just say that?
I like Almiron.
I really don't. Anyway, moving on. Liverpool Fulham. Tom?
1-0 Liverpool.
1. Okay. Matt?
3-0 Liverpool.
Nath?
2-0 Liverpool.
Josh?
They had a bit of trouble playing Fulham last time, didn't they? That's what I'm thinking.
They drew 1-0, I think.
Yeah. I reckon it's going to be a bit of a goal fest.
0-0.
Yeah.
Bold claim.
I'm going 4-2. 4-2.
I've gone 4-0 Liverpool. Right, biggest game of the weekend, Tom. Manchester United versus Manchester City.
I'm going to say, I'm a United fan, but I'm going to say 2-0 City.
That must hurt.
Yeah, I know.
Matt?
2-1 City, but United will take the lead.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
2-1. 1-0 City.
Josh?
I'm going to go 2-0 City.
They won 2-0 last game, didn't they, against United? Right?
I'm going to go...
Yeah, I think they did, yeah.
4-1 City.
I can't say that. What I will say, although United don't seem to win against the big sixes, they are quite defensively sound against them all.
Can I change mine?
Which one, mate? Because you can change any of them, to be fair, they're all a bit.
That's the derby.
Yeah, what do you want? You've gone 2-0 City.
Can I change it to 3-0 City?
Of course you can, mate.
Yeah.
Can I change my Chelsea one?
Oh, right. No.
We haven't done a Chelsea one.
There isn't a Chelsea one. Right, last game we're doing for the weekend is Tottenham to Crystal Palace. And Tom, what do you think?
Tottenham doing 2-0.
Matt?
2-1 Spurs.
Nath?
3-1 Spurs.
Josh?
2-0 Spurs.
I'm going to go 3-0 Spurs.
Are we not doing the Monday games?
Say again?
We're not doing the Monday games this week.
How many Monday games are there?
2. That mate, it's all 10 fixtures then, isn't it?
Yeah, go for it. What are they?
Chelsea Everton.
And then
West Ham Leeds.
All right then. Chelsea West Ham. We'll start off with Josh.
You mean Chelsea Everton?
Chelsea Everton.
Chelsea Everton. Yeah, that's what I said. Start with Josh.
I reckon it'll be 1-0 Chelsea.
Nathan.
1-0.
Matt.
1-0 Everton.
I was thinking this, Tom.
Mate, I was going to go 1-0 Everton as well.
1-0 Everton, yeah?
Yeah, mate, 1-0 Everton, mate.
I'll go 1-0.
Actually, I don't know.
I'll go 1-0.
Can I change that quickly? I'm going to go 1-0 Chelsea because Chelsea are very sound at the back.
Right, West Ham Leeds. Tom?
That's done that, Tom.
West Ham to win 3-0.
3-0. Okay.
Wait, who was it again?
Matt? West Ham Leeds.
West Ham lead. I think it'll be 1-0. Either way, West Ham.
Nice.
2-1 West Ham.
Josh.
3-1 West Ham.
I was going to do that. And I am. I'm going to go 3-1 West Ham. Thank you very much.
I would like, it doesn't count towards the league as well, but I would like to get score predictions for tomorrow's game, which is Chelsea-Liverpool.
3-1 Liverpool.
At the bridge?
At the bridge.
At Anfield. Isn't it? Is it?
Bridge, innit?
I'd like to think Josh knows.
Let me fact check that.
It's at Anfield.
Yeah, it's at Anfield.
Then I go 2-1 Liverpool.
I'm going to go 1-0 Chelsea.
Oh, wow.
I
mean, it was surprising with Liverpool's defence.
How many goals have Chelsea conceded? Under Tuchel at the moment.
We've scored 1 goal from an opposition player since Tuchel took charge.
You've scored 1 goal from an opposition player?
Sorry, we've
Say
scored.
that again.
No, we've conceded 1 goal from an opposition player because one of them was Rudiger's own goal, wasn't it?
Okay, so you've conceded twice since Tuchel's.
I think it should be 1.
That's all you have to say.
Man.
1 goal from an opposition player since Tuchel took charge.
Right, okay.
When did he take charge?
4, 5 games ago?
So,
yeah, so since Burnley.
So I think it's going to be a 2-1 Chelsea win.
If we get predictions,
I'd say 2-0 Liverpool.
I still think Liverpool get top 4 this season, so I think they beat Chelsea.
if we do predictions on Josh's team, can we get a prediction for Norwich Brentford, top v second tonight?
Norwich to do it, then I reckon.
Oh, Tom, don't get me excited.
1-0.
Brentford to win.
1-1.
Thanks, Matt.
1-0 Norwich.
Hope
Mate,
I'll
they
go
will
get-
win.
Hope I'll go get relegated, Matt.
Thank you.
Salty.
No, I'll back the boys 2-1. Buendia and Pookie linking up again.
Draw written all over it.
Mate, I'll take a draw right now.
Tariq Fosu and Ivan Toney put you to the sword, mate.
As long as
If we
you
don't lose, I'm happy. Anyway, thank you.
Is that everything then, boys?
I believe that is everything.
I believe so.
On that note, I believe it is probably time to end. What was it that we were doing in episode 3? Did we decide?
I think it was our England squad.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. All right, our England squad. Just take a look at the amounts.
Oh no.
This is going to be a
fun.
It's gonna be like a 3-hour-long episode.
Squad.
All right, so I'll be doing the full. So how many players is it?
23.
23 man
23.
squad.
23.
We're doing the whole 23-man squad next episode then.
Yes.
It makes it easier knowing Jack Grealish is a central midfielder, though. So
Narrows it down.
So yeah, tune in for the next episode, episode 3 of the Team Talk podcast. We will be discussing the England Euro squad, the 23-man squad that we're going to be taking. I mean, I say we're going to be taking them. We're not actually going to. I mean, we have no authority on this.
Oh, really?
We would take.
Oh, I'm not doing it then.
Yeah, so make sure that you tune into the next episode. And until next time, it's goodbye from me and goodbye from everyone else.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye, good friend. Goodbye.
See you on the next episode. Thank you very much for tuning in. See you later.